Hello fellow academics and welcome back to Timberborn. We are playing the Folktale on the Beaverome map, creating the settlement of Beavtorio. Thank you Perogigol for the suggestion. I'm gonna start, gonna pause as usual. We'll also be implementing some more suggestions that you've given us, but that will take a little bit longer, I think, as this is probably the hardest map in all of Timberborn in the current update, at least. So let's have a look. We're surrounded by a bunch of craters. I think the description says it's 7 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, so that tracks. The problem with this map is the water sources are at the bottom of these craters. Now, it has its pros and its cons. The pros are we don't need to worry about water storage anytime soon. The cons are when the bad tide hits, we'll be in quite a bit of trouble. So what I'm thinking is we're gonna place some water pipes down at the bottom of these craters to make our freshwater supply last a little bit longer. We'll also make good use of the game mechanic where partially polluted water is still kind of okay water. You'll see as we go through this. But most importantly, while this is the starting point, we'll not be able to go here. Or stay here, at least. This area full of water sources, once we hit the bad tide, the only place where we can actually block anything off is here. And then it will actually flood on both sides, which will basically kill all of our beavers. Now, I'm trying to keep them alive, so we're gonna move our settlement around this crater right here. This is also full with regular water. There is a underground ruin at the bottom of it, which we're probably not gonna make good use of, but we're gonna use this as our farming area, so to speak, to keep our farms supplied with water. All right. Having said that, I think that is kind of good enough. So let's unpause the game and get going. As usual, we'll place down first a bunch of different road systems, and I'm gonna plaster the map with lumberjacks. Also gonna make sure there are 4 beavers in here. Set our working hours to 20. Again, it's the usual spiel that we do on hard difficulty. We're also gonna make sure we highlight all of the trees to be chopped down. These as well, as we will be expanding our lumberjacks over on this side in a second. All right, everything marked over here as well. So let's go ahead, put in 1 lumberjack right there. We could put one in, let's actually place that one right here. This one will cover all the trees, so we don't need to move it afterwards. And then just making sure that this is connected to the path. All right. We also need some water pumpers. Let's put one right next to our city center. And we're going to build our berry gatherer on there right away. This will be our connecting path in this corner right there as we are moving up here. All right, berry gatherer goes on. We're just placing them over here. Actually, let's place them on this side. Won't reach all of that, but overall this is fine. Oh, need to make sure we're setting the priority of this to kind of the lowest. All right, beavers are happily chewing away on the trees. Need some wood storage. Goes in perfectly in the middle. And then we'll need to figure out some food storage. But first, let's place an efficient farmhouse. Place this right here, and then again plaster the entire area with carrots, because carrots are delicious. Actually, I do like carrots. So anyways, here we go. Plenty of carrots in there. Gonna remove the number of workers to 1, as this will, as we'll just plant the crops and not really eating them. Okay, like I said, we're planning on moving our colony up this way. So for now, let's have a connecting path somewhere like this. And the next thing, because we are playing the Folktails, is we need to put in some houses. Well, that was a freeze. Place one here, and then a couple along this line, 5 in total for now, which I think will help us, well, will not just help us, will allow our beavers to, well, create more beavers for us. So excited about that. Also making sure we're placing a couple of storage areas down. Let's place just 2 right here. 1 for carrots, 1 for berries. Adding a little bit of extra storage will allow us to, well, stockpile, basically. All right. So all of this is going pretty okay. Everyone is still homeless. Well, not everyone anymore, but most of them are still homeless. Makes me also think I'm removing that berry part right here. Let's turn you into berries for now. Berries, berries, berries. Here we go. And then we're making sure that we have another storage area right here for carrots. There we go. All right. Next thing that we really need to build as well is scientist huts. I'm gonna place 2 of them down. We might remove one of them later on, but it is a good beginning. Beavers are thirsty. However, we do have a good amount of water available. And we're still under 15 beaver population, meaning we have plenty of water for our beavers. So nothing really to worry about. They have chopped down their way through here really quickly. So let's move the path over here, and I'm not particularly careful of how this path is being placed, as we'll be moving our beavers over in the long run anyways. So temporary ones will do just fine like this. Let's see if we can't. This would be a good spot, but still part of the way covered. Maybe let's high prioritize you. We can also destroy you. And with that, we have plenty of logs coming our way. Now, 1 unemployed beaver. That is not a good sight for us. Makes me think. Let's high prioritize a scientist, so this can start producing as we're moving along. I'm gonna completely skip the water wheel hard cycle in the beginning, because while we could place one right here, we're already on our way through the first drought, and ultimately we'll block off the water here, so we won't have continuous water supply over here either. Meaning we're gonna build this, or most of our colony for now, on a manual power supply cycle. Which sounds insane, and in all honesty it is a little bit, but it'll do. Alright, wait, didn't we have 1 unemployed beaver? Oh, from the wood chopper. I see, I see. Alright. Drought is hitting us in 0.8 days, but overall I think we're on the right track. All of our beavers have a house now, and we're about to have an additional one for, again, beaver expansion. Let's also go ahead and place a few more down, as this will be quite essential to keep our beaver population growing. making some of them on a lower priority. There we go, one on a normal one. So overall, that should come in okay. You are carrot building. Let's make actually you on the highest priority so we can store some of our berries. And like I said, drought hits, 6 days, easy peasy. We have 15 beavers, 1 water pumper, and that 1 water pumper should be able to supply enough water for all 15 of them. Once the next one comes in, hits basically the ground, then we really need to figure out where to place well, not where to place. The next water pumper goes right next to it. But yeah. Actually, let's just place it in there right now, because why not? They can build it whenever they have the time. So we will need to figure out how to get to additional wood areas. So this one still has a little bit to go. That one as well, but we will run out very soon. Which I think means we need to get over here to start well, creating the necessary expansion of our forest area. And I think this corner right here will be the perfect spot to put a extended forest area down, whereas this might then become our farming zone, and maybe this here our industry zone, but we'll see as we progress. For now, what we do know is we need to get over here because, again, we need more wood. All right, you don't need to run yet. Your power is not being utilized at all. Here we go. Now we have some. So go ahead and do your job over there. We need a little bit of, not just a little bit, we need some log storage. And I think for now we're placing a, not log storage, a plank storage, which we're gonna place right here. Which I think will help us move things along. All right, time to put down our first staircase, and I think we're placing it up here so we can actually get to these forest wood area over here relatively quickly. And then just put down a lumberjack up here to deal with all of this. All right. Making sure all of this is also marked to be chopped down. And we're already going to do the same over here, but actually not all of it. We're going to try to be a little bit smart about this and create a path through here that hopefully will help us place down trees as we move along. All right, meaning also we need to get down to this side. One thing that we will do or need in order to do so is levies. But before we get to the levies, let's place down a staircase. Wooden stairs, I guess, not staircase. But that is also okay. Maybe not here. Let's instead place it here. Then we can actually head down this way and put stairs down here with levies again. Well, once we unlock this, but 2 levies up here will allow us 1 staircase, 1 more down here, and then we can build over this direction with the necessary... Actually, hold on. Because I think it would be nice to have some block storage over here, which I guess we could place there. You know what? That'll work. All right, faster. What's going on? Why is everyone so upset? Oh, shoot. Forgot the food. Oh my, oh my. We have 7 open jobs. How does this work? when everyone just grew up. Now we need the inventor. We don't have any builders right now. Don't need the water pumper for now. Food is coming in. And this little mistake might have actually just killed the settlement. Excellent. Alright. But food is coming in. Died of old age. I guess they are getting unhappy because of the lack of food. And because of that, they die earlier. Alright, we don't need you. Which gives us a few more workers, or available workers. Staircase, it does cost us 4 planks. So 2 more planks and we'll pause this guy. Happiness was back up to 5. Awesome. Which also means I can probably reduce the amount of workers in here to 2. 13 carrots in storage. That should be just great. Alright, pause you. Pause you. We decided to unpause you because we're keeping you where you are. Still working our way to the levies. And maybe in the meantime we can already expand over this way. Maybe we'll do just that. Alright. Mark resources for demolition. 1 path straight through here. Also going to make sure we're removing those 2. Now our builders can go ahead and keep doing all of this. 16 beavers. Very soon we will need that water pumper again. 5 baby beavers. Not too bad, not too shabby. Farmers are doing okay. Drought has ended, and like I mentioned before, nothing to worry about over here. It was a quick first drought, I think. But, you know, that stuff just happens. Alright, what else do we need? Well, we definitely just need a ton of our levies. Because even just going down here, that's exactly what we will need to build. In addition, though, we can already put down a secondary log storage system. Connect this up, which, again, I think will help us in the long run. Alright. Now, 120 signs, perfect, meaning we can unlock this, place them down. Just like that. Put in 1 piece of dam. And then our 2 staircases, which will get us down to this area. Oh, need to set you to logs. Which also will help us as this one is full. Alright, cool. They're already putting in the material for the stairs, I think. Maybe not. We did the... I don't quite know where the planks went that we're looking for. Oh well. Okay, 1 staircase is in. Second one. Don't know where the planks went. Let's unpause both of you so we can produce some more. Seriously, though, what were the planks used for? Huh. More beavers grew up. Definitely helped our beaver population. Not just the population, our beaver workforce supply issue. Yep, that's the official terminology we're going for. You are done. Out of logs up here. How are you guys doing? You're still fine. You are okay. I don't need you anymore. However, we're making sure that we have one more lumberjack that goes all the way to the back. You also will reach the front, which means we might just remove the lumberjack at the front relatively soon. All right, and we're already over here. We're putting in the dam. We'll be making sure that we have a path connected over here all the way to the end. And then actually we could just remove this and then put in our lumberjack right there. Again, making sure we'll have the space to put in another lumberjack flag, which will ultimately help us chop the rest of all of this down. Now with this dam piece, one should be enough to stop the or still have the water flow out here without it overflowing, I think. So that will be good, and it will raise the water level in this area right here by half at least, which again will help us supply our beavers with more, or give our beavers more water access. All right, next thing we're going to plan is go over this way. Maybe we'll actually build this one just down here. Just like that. Next drought is approaching. Also, again, not a big deal. And we still have our 2 scientists working away, which means we can also put in another double floodgate once we have the research available, and this one will go in here. Now, once this floodgate is in here, we'll need to think about moving all of this over on this side. And that will actually happen relatively quickly. Oh no. Beaver is injured, so we'll need to make some adjustments to everything. Unlock the medical bed. Where is it? Medical bed right here. Place 2 on this side. And while we're at it, we also need a teeth grindstone. Let's go ahead and high prioritize the one medical bed at least, because this beaver cannot work until he is healed. And unfortunately, I think he broke his foot. Oh, you don't need to be that sad. Don't need to hide. Yep. Did you see that? Here you go. I think that looks pretty solid though, so he should be fine. Okay, cool. Things are moving along. We're a little bit short on water. We do also have 17 beavers, so let's unpause that next water pumper and actually turn these back into just regular priority buildings. With this in as well, we're gonna make sure we're high prioritizing the construction side. Get over here, and now just delete this lumberjack flag. 215 logs in the bank, which definitely helpful. There we go. Put in another lumberjack flag over this way. I prioritize, just making sure we'll be able to just go through all of this. Now, 15%. You will take a while to actually get there, but that is okay. I want to make sure we be able to put down our forester somewhere in this zone right there, which makes me think I'm gonna build the path just like that and then connect through over here. Follow the shoreline basically. I think that will be quite nice. Building lacks power. We actually have created 22 planks. Let's actually keep producing, because we'll definitely need a ton of planks for what we have in mind. For now, let's destroy our district center. I know that sounds weird, but we can place it for free over this way, which is exactly what we're doing. Lowest priority, everyone back in. It briefly interrupted things, but not too bad, not too bad. All right, we also need to make sure that we'll connect this path up here. They've also built the levees already. Well, not completely, but a good amount of them. Gonna connect that over here. And then just through there. Drought has started. That is all right. Making sure put down a staircase on this side. We could also just do that on the other side, so we always have a pathway through. But I think over here makes a little bit more sense. Later on, we're very likely going to destroy this once we have a little bit more resources and science points to unlock our platforms, but you know, future worries. For now, let's put in one lumberjack right there, connect it up with a path, and then set all of this to be chopped down. Food looks good, so nothing to worry about here, at least not yet, but we'll need to figure out a good way of getting over in this corner right here. So for now, let's make sure we highlight all of this to be chopped down. And in all honesty, I might remove some of these seedlings. Yeah, this one is in an awkward spot. We do definitely need the foresters soon, so we can build up new forest areas over this way. And again, I would love to place it here. What we can do actually is place the path here. We could remove this one 3.5 days. I actually will do that. Highest priority. Go into the wood area, place down a forester and face it this direction. Not ideal. We can figure that out later on how to solve that problem. Difference. Yeah, let's go with difference. Also gonna make sure we place a staircase on this side, so our beavers will actually be able to get one level down and chop the rest of these logs right here. All right, highest priority. And we're gonna set all of this to be planted as oaks, as they will give us the most bang for our buck. One more row. Excellent. Let's have a look here. And I think all the way over this way. However, we want to make sure that we have a pathway through. So I'm going to remove this row over there. Leave one space right here just in case we want to build another lumberjack. But overall, I think this will be our configuration for now. Again, I'm not too worried about replanning in the future, but this will supply us for a little while with additional wood. We'll need to keep an eye on this guy. Hasn't he chopped down everything already? I don't see a tree anymore. Okay, so you are out. You're still busy, that is good. And you guys are still busy too. We need to... that made no sense what I just did. Alright, so here are the important parts. we're gonna unselect everything up here from chopping down, mark this one pathway, so they chop down the trees that really need to go. And I'm also going to now just remove both of these. 72% though. Oh, okay. We're gonna wait for this one. This one was just newly planted, so we're definitely going to destroy you. All right. Make sure the path is in here already. 2 seedlings ready to go. Water still looks good. Water storage is whatever these actually have available, which will be fine as well. And they've actually done a pretty decent job at getting over here already. Very nice, very nice. We also have enough science to put down the double floodgate. And with that in plan, I am going to end the episode right now. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.